All right, let's just get right into it. If you're a product manager moving into the world of AI, it's so easy to think it's all about the fancy algorithms and complex models. But here's the truth. The real secret, the thing that separates the winning AI products from the ones that just fizzle out, it isn't the model. It's the data pipeline that feeds it. And mastering your data strategy, well, that is the single most critical skill you can build.
And this quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? The glamorous part, the analysis, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real work, the other 90% of the job, it's gritty. It's about getting access to the data, cleaning it up, wrestling it into shape so it's even usable. That's the messy, unglamorous reality we're going to tackle today.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the foundation of any good modern product management. Then we'll look at these new specialized PM roles that are popping up. We'll cover the huge mindset shift you need for AI, talk about how to navigate the biggest data traps, and finally, we'll tie it all together by framing data as your ultimate strategic weapon. Okay, so first things first. Before we even whisper the letters AI, we have to nail the fundamentals. And the absolute baseline, the price of entry for any modern PM, is being data-driven. The days of saying, my gut tells me, yeah, those are long gone. Today, every single important decision needs to be backed by hard evidence. So picture this. This is the classic PM nightmare scenario, right? Weekly active usage dropped on Android. A key metric is in the red. Everyone's looking at you. What do? Now notice this has nothing to do with AI. This is a fundamental data problem. And how you answer this single question, it reveals everything about your approach to data. And this is how the pros handle it. You don't just guess. You build a logical framework, what we call an issue tree, and you map out every single possible cause. Could it be a competitor's new marketing push? Maybe a nasty bug that's only on one platform. You go down each branch one by one, using data to rule things out until, bam, you find the root cause. That methodical process is the absolute heart of data-driven thinking.
Okay, so once you have that foundation, things start getting really interesting. Because as our products become more and more data intensive, the PM role itself is evolving. It's actually starting to specialize. We're seeing this new breed of product managers emerge who just live and breathe data.
First up, you have the Data Product Manager, or DPM. For a DPM, the data isn't just something they use. The data is the product. They own the entire data ecosystem, the pipelines, the analytics platforms, the APIs. Think of them as the city planners for data, making sure clean, reliable information flows smoothly to everyone in the organization. They are the architects of the company's data infrastructure.
And then you have the AI Product Manager. This is the role we're really focused on becoming. The AI PM takes it all a step further. They don't just manage the infrastructure, they build intelligence on top of it. Their job is to find those real-world user problems and then design solutions that are powered by machine learning models trained on that very data. This brings us to probably the most crucial mental shift you have to make as an AI PM. It's a big one. You see, a traditional PM is obsessed with outcomes, things like conversion rates or churn. But an AI PM, you have to become obsessed with the inputs that drive those outcomes. And this slide just lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got the results, the classic business metrics we all track. But on the right, that's the AI PM's playground. Those are the raw ingredients, the user activity data, demographic info, usage patterns. Your whole job shifts from just watching the metrics on the left to strategically collecting and refining the data on the right so you can build a model that can actually predict and influence those outcomes.
Now, this all sounds great in theory, but let's bring it back down to earth. Remember that opening quote about 90% of the work being messy? Yeah. Let's get real and talk about the common traps that can completely derail your AI product if you're not careful.
First up, the dreaded data silo. You've probably seen this. It's when the marketing team has its data, the sales team has its data over here, and the product team has its own little stash. And none of them talk to each other. The result? Nobody, absolutely nobody, has the full picture.
And the danger here is huge. If your data is fragmented, your models are being built on an incomplete reality. You're going to end up making huge business-critical decisions based on a totally skewed view of the world. And that, well, that's just a recipe for disaster. Breaking down these silos has to be job number one. The second major trap is just underestimating the importance of data quality. It's so easy to get excited about having a massive data set, but big doesn't mean good.
Is it accurate? Is it complete? Are the labels even correct? You've heard it a million times, but it's never been more true. Garbage in, garbage out. A model trained on junk data is just a really, really fast way to make bad predictions. In this quote right here, it gets to the heart of a related problem, focusing on quantity over quality. A million data points are worthless if they don't help you answer the right question. As the quote says, the key question isn't how many people want it, but is it actually valuable? You constantly have to ask if your data is truly representative of the problem you're trying to solve.
Okay, let's switch gears for our final section and see how this all comes together. Avoiding traps is about playing defense. Now let's talk about offense. How do you turn data from a simple resource into your company's most powerful and sustainable competitive advantage? Simple. You have to treat it as a core part of your strategy.
A true data strategy isn't something that just happens. It has to be deliberate. You need a framework, something like this. You have to map out your key criteria, define your data sources, figure out your starting point, and decide on the frequency of measurement. It's an intentional, designed process from top to bottom.
And that whole process really starts by answering these critical questions. What data is truly essential for our product to win? Where do we get it? Do we collect it ourselves or do we source it from somewhere else? And what's the right cadence for measurement? Daily, weekly, real-time? The answers to these questions, they will form the very foundation of your AI product's future. So let's bring it all home with the single most important takeaway. Models will come and go. Algorithms will change. But the data pipeline, that clean, reliable flow of proprietary data, that is the long-term, defensible asset. As an AI PM, your job isn't just to manage a feature backlog. You own the data strategy. And by owning that, you own the destiny of your product. So the only question left is your strategy built to win?